light and darkness, good and evil, they're all subject to the laws of gradual evolution. That's really what we're talking about, right? And you would probably fast forward that to not be so gradual. But
what do you mean by that?
That is the purpose. Like if you look at a piece of fruit, let's say, and you pick it before it's ripe, it's going to be bitter. You're not going to judge the fruit and say, oh, this is disgusting and it's horrible as it is. You understand that you've picked an unripe fruit and you haven't allowed that process of evolution to occur. Now, in nature, it's natural. The fruit will ripen and that's part of its process. For us, that's where our free will comes in. It's not a natural evolution. The law of evolution is true, but we have to take the front seat and take the reins in actually creating that. And it reminds me of a conversation I had this week with somebody. I met with a group of people and we were talking about things that, how our ego comes in the picture and where it comes in and how we can really take charge of that. So, first we broke the ego by admitting our flaws in this big group of 50 people. But this one person said that his biggest thing, and he didn't realize this about himself because he always thought he was unmotivated, but he realized that he's very competitive and he compares himself a lot to other people. So he was praying for I hope this is going to be removed from me. And I said, no, you've got this all wrong. These are actually traits that you can use and utilize for your goodness. Meaning you should be competitive with yourself, internalize all of that. And you should compare yourself with who you are today and who you have yet to become, right? So take all of those things that seem like negative characteristics and actually turn it inward and use it for something that can be really powerful and motivating.
Absolutely. I think that's maybe a main message of our podcast today. The fact that people would like to think of themselves, I think most people, I'm good. Or if there are parts of me that are not perfect, right, good, let me try to either hide them, extinguish them. But that's not the purpose for which we're in this world. There's a reason why we are all, every single one of us, born with light and darkness, with good and bad. Not so much for the light that we came into this world with, but rather for the darkness or for the aspects of our personalities that are not in their perfect state, in the ripe fruit stage, to be brought to that. And I think it's a really revolutionary way of seeing our lives. Whereas I think often spiritual people think, well, if I'm a spiritual person, that means, I don't have that much negativity in me. I'm
chaos.
Not just no chaos. No, internally we look inside and we see I'm a pretty good person, right? When in reality, that's an indication of actually being far spiritually.
I think that's an indication of being asleep, quite honestly.
Right, but also because, for example, there's a very important parable from one of the Kabbalists that, if you have a candle and you're in a dark room, then it seems to be very bright. And if it's sunny outside, you go outside to the sun, suddenly you pick up your candle, there's no light at all. And the point is that the only time that one looks inside and only sees light is because they're not anywhere near real light.
Right.
And if you're getting closer to what we'll call light or to goodness, that's one of the greatest indications is the fact that you are finding more of your own, I don't even want to call it darkness, but more of your own material that needs to be transformed into light.